Hi everyone and welcome to your daily oracle guidance. The challenge 4 of water. Now this card is actually quite a positive card because it can signify so very many different things. In certain cases it is very deep contemplation, in other cases it is divine guidance, for example synchronicities, or in other cases it can be divination or communication with the universe, with the source, or whatever that means for you personally. But of course, in challenge position, it's the shadow aspect of this card which is predominant, and basically, this might represent that either you've been contemplating, you've been thinking, you've been analyzing everything, or you have received so much divine guidance, synchronicities, signs, unusual events may have happened in your life, but of course it can also represent your own divination attempts, your own, communication, download, or however you connect to your source. Well, whatever you received, however you were guided, whatever signs you got are not very clear. They don't have a very strong logical sense to it. You don't know what the universe or your guides or whatever is saying to you. You might not be able in this present moment to see the message clearly. You don't know if it's guidance, if it is advice telling you to do a specific thing, or an advice telling you not to do something. It is very, very open to interpretation, but because of the frequency that it happens, it is basically sending you in a state of not knowing what to do really, because logically, none of what you receive makes that much sense. You cannot see it, how it builds up the big picture. And we're not even talking about your distant future or anything very complicated, but rather the present. We're actually talking about the present moment. Or in the very, very best case, the very close future. And you simply don't know if you're supposed to do something specific. You don't know if you are supposed to act in a specific way, do some specific spiritual action or anything like that, or if you're just supposed to stay safe, stay, peaceful, and just observe everything that is going on in the world and, of course, in your life. And another expression of this card is, especially in shadow position, you're really, really afraid not to make the mistakes of the past. But this is all very tricky because nothing that you have done in the past is a true mistake. Everything had a very, very clear purpose. The purpose may have not been very visible to you at that time, but basically every mistake of yours, if you can consider them mistakes, connected you to certain people. They actually delivered you very powerful, very intense, and ultimately very conclusive life experiences. So basically, if we can symbolically call it the training that you got in life, well, they were because of your so-called wrong choices and not so much out of your good choices. But also, the 4 is the number of closures. So basically, it was a moment in your life, in your karmic path, when you had to do all of that for the sake of learning, for the sake of experiencing, for the sake of getting to know yourself that much better and where your vulnerabilities and weak points are. Because many times in your life you were someone who considered, well, you have no limits, you can accomplish everything, love is cure for all possible problems, the power of love or something similar is infinite and it's gonna help me. And you were both right and wrong. because it all depends very much how we manage it and how we use that inner empowerment, if we can call it that way. So basically, this Four of Water is telling you, well, there are no wrong choices. Yes, in the past it could be interpreted that way, but in the present moment, you are already someone for who right or wrong doesn't exist, because you're so rational, you're so experienced, you are so open-minded, you see things for what they truly are, and that's why the universe is communicating in such a very tumultuous way with you. Every day, every hour, you get something, signs or a perception or an intuitive guidance or whatever. You are aligned with it. So is there such a thing as bad choices? Let me just give you an example. Like, you might have deleted your job seekers profile or whatever, a website you used to look for jobs, because you got so frustrated and disappointed, and you said to the universe, well, you're infinite and almighty, I don't really need this for you to guide me to my job. There are so many other options, and you deleted it because at that time it felt right, and now you might be, inclined to rethink this. But this is where you just have to trust, when you deleted it, it wasn't a bad choice. It was your own truth and your heart's desire, and the universe supports that unconditionally. And you were absolutely right. If one door is closed, another one opens. You're not the same person who you were in the past. You're way more mature now, and you just know that you can navigate through everything. And because you are so adaptable and you are so versatile, and because you don't cling on to expectations, well, the universe and everything in your life is gonna mirror this attitude of yours. And if you have closed certain doors in the very recent past, like last week or whatever, 4 weeks ago, don't doubt it, don't fear it, don't dwell on it, because it was actually the right choice for you, because that was the truth of your heart. And you're not gonna end up living a life that you don't wish on yourself, you don't desire, which makes you unhappy because of such an insignificant little choice. When something massive is about to take place in your life and it has to be your choice, well, then the guidance is gonna be totally different, making sure that you cannot actually go wrong. And actually, when the universe wants you not to be able to go wrong, it won't give you more options, more choices, more confusion, but rather it will act the total opposite way, where it will eliminate everything from your life, even if it doesn't actually make sense. So when that one only viable option enters your life, you don't even have to think about it. It is what it is, and you'll just go with it. And also, if you are bombarded with guidance and synchronicities and signs and dreams and all of that, well, that doesn't necessarily mean anything more than just that the universe is connected to you and it's alive, it's working, it's manifesting something, and it is just informing you, updating you that I'm working, I'm conspiring in your favor, I'm doing something, and you just need to work with me and be patient. But that doesn't mean that you have to take any specific action. Just hold on, just observe, just be yourself, basically. And basically, if the deep contemplation and just staying within yourself, if this is how this Four of Water manifests for you, well, it's draining you, your batteries are totally depleted, you just can't muster the strength even to dream anymore, it's like total fatigue, well, that is also not a bad sign whatsoever, because how does the universe manifest your desire or wish of yours? Well, it manifests it by taking that energy out of your being and using it to build something. This is how nature basically creates. Like a mother doesn't dream her offspring into existence, she also needs contribution, she also needs energy, she needs material, and that is exactly why the energy of your desires, whatever you wished to focus on, is being taken away out of you so that it can be used in the creational process, and it has to be, part of you because it will be your present, your gift, or your, work, your seed of intention made manifest. So the more powerless you feel, the more fatigue you have within you, the more you feel empty, hollow, like there's a big void in your heart, well, that is the best thing ever, because that means that whatever you need is coming. It is being created as we speak, and this is exactly the main message of the opportunity. The sun is creation. The sun is our life force. And this is also what many of us are missing in the present moment, because right now, the intention of the universe and all the guidance that you receive is not complicated at all. It doesn't really mean do this, do that, prepare yourself, work with me. It just means, well, don't forget to be alive, don't forget to exist. This is about you, but you might be forgetting about you. You might be seeing your life as a construct, as, something you build, but you forget that ultimately it is you who has to live in it, and you living in it is the essence of everything. That is the main purpose. So this card reminds you that you matter very, very, very much, and the more guidance you have, the more, stressful the synchronicities are. If they happen like every hour or so, well, then the universe trying to tell you, don't forget about yourself. It is basically stressing you out to remember, well, that you are alive and your life is about you and not anything else. That is the basis of everything. Should be about you, your story, yourself, your life. And of course, if this is not done in a very selfish and self-centered way, that means maximal alignment with the universe, with the flow, with everything. But of course, you might be a person who is quite the opposite of being self-centered and all that. You just seem to forget yourself. You just seem not to even be aware that you exist at times. And that's why the universe is stressing you out to remember, well, that this is about you really, and not other people, and not mission, not your life path, not your family. You matter, and the universe wants you to matter, but it cannot, incarnate and come here and tell you to stop wasting your life on other people. As in, of course that matters very much in someone's life story and existence, but when you ignore the self, when you ignore your own being, whatever you are to yourself, well, then that you're defeating yourself with it. So you just need to start living your story. You need to start living who you actually are, because 2019 and even 2018 already showed you who you're not, so you can't actually go wrong. Kind of forget what a massive work you have done over the past 2 years. If you weren't afraid back then that you'll go wrong or you make a wrong choice or anything, then why should you be afraid now when you're 10 times stronger and 10 times more authentic? Of course, more importantly, that sometimes you do need to be a little bit ignorant, because how else can you live your life? How else can you live your story? Like even in a book, pages are separated from one another. They're not just one big scroll where the text just runs infinitely. So basically, when you are so very connected to the divine and you can see this every single day of your life, you cannot be actually ignorant, because if the divine mind knows everything, sees everything. If there's something that you need to do or become aware of, it will happen in a millisecond without any fail. But the divine cannot expressively stop you not to dig, not to obsess over answers, or when you get immersed into things which shouldn't really matter to you, it can't actually stop you, because if that is your express will, well, it has to cooperate with you. But this is where you need to stop being present in everything and just choose a healthy ignorance without actually being afraid that you'll become an ignorant person. You will actually just become a functioning person. And if the divine mind is connected to you, then why should you even be worried about anything? Because you have, in a very symbolic way, the cosmic internet at your disposal. You're safe, you're okay. You cannot be an ignorant person in an unhealthy way, only in a very healthy way. And ultimately, this is where the resolution, the Ace of Earth, is guiding you towards, and that represents material rebirth, where your life, even materially, is going to be reconfigured. It will reflect your true and authentic personality, and that's why you need to start living your life, because this is the moment when it will start reflecting it. But this is, something personal. This is something totally individual for you. So the lives of other people, even your loved ones and people who you deeply love and are connected to, well, they are gonna have their version and you're gonna have your version. And there are some things that you simply cannot share. And your destiny and the way your own karma plays out is one of them. You cannot share that. If yours is infinitely better than those of others, even if you love them profoundly, and even if every second of your life you wish their highest good, there's nothing you can do about it. At least not in the present moment. First, you need to, get there. You need to step into that future, and then you can start fixing and helping and all of that. But first, you need this to happen in your life, and for that to happen, you need to be yourself, present, and you need to wanna live. You don't need to know anything. All you need to know is that you wanna live. You're here for a reason, and that reason is for you to experience earthly life. So it's absolutely fine to live your story intensely when this is what we should be doing. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope that this guidance helped you. Please be strong and safe, everyone. Until next time, bye for now.